here with John Madden. And as you would always expect, I think, this game between these two, it's a tough day. Art Monk with a first down reception from Theismann, and Dexter Clinkscale made the hit that knocked him down. Gain of 15.
This is an interesting formation. It's an interesting thing. We see three wide receivers on this side. This one here is Art Monk. Now they clear out here. Monk comes up and works on the out to this position. You see they have a triple. They flood this side of the field against the 4-0. See Monk, the third guy in. Now he starts right here. See the big hole out there? And Theismann hits him right in that hole for the first down, and a big play on this drive for the Redskins.
Redskins on the move at the Cowboy 27. Riggins the lone setback. Theismann out of the pocket, headed for the sideline from behind by Jeffcoat. But a gain of about 4 nevertheless.
Yeah, you talk about interesting matchup. That Russ Grimm on Randy White is an interesting one. Grimm may have jumped a little early. He wants to get into Randy White's space quickly. And I think that time he got there a little too quickly. Let's see if we can see it here. Russ Grimm is 68. He's a left guard. You see him jump there? He wants to get into Randy White. He did get into him. The only thing is he left before the ball was snapped. But still, that's a pretty good job on Randy White.
Pat Haggerty is the referee.
Illegal motion, left guard, offense.
Was against
Still
Grimm.
first down.
Still first down. 1st and 15.
Russ Grimm was saying the thing you have to do to Randy White is you have to get into him right now. You can't let him get his hands on you. You can't let him get you pushed back. Of course, the thing that Randy White likes you to do, he likes to make you mad so that you overextend on that first thing, and he just throws you to the side.
Make you mad early is sort of his theme. Keith Griffin has replaced Riggins. Theismann looks to his right. Incomplete. Batted away by Everson Wall. Intended for Malcolm Barnwell. Now let's go back for an update to Brent Musburger.
All right, Pat, Atlanta and Philadelphia in overtime. Atlanta punt buries the Eagles back on the one. Mike Quick, he splits them, and he goes 99 yards on this pass from Ron Jaworski, and the Eagles have beaten Atlanta, and it took overtime to do it. Let's go back to Pat and John.
Those Eagles have become a force.
I'll tell you, you know, they've always had that good defense. Now Jaworski back there and hitting guys like Ron Quick. They can explode from anywhere.
Here's Theismann back quickly as a man over. Clark, Gary Clark, who's really developed. I guess developed is a bad choice of words. He was always good. But he and Theismann have certainly become a combination that works together and works very well. Those of you who watched that Philadelphia overtime victory over Atlanta, that's RFK Stadium, and this is the matchup between the Redskins and the Cowboys. 146 times in a row this place has been sold out for the Redskins. This was a tough ticket. 3rd and 6. Washington at the Dallas 23-yard line. Theismann rolls right. His chase throws deep, has a man. Art Monk picked off at the last second by Ron Fellows. And they'll bring it back to the 20. Remember in that first game, the opening night, the Cowboys picked off 6 of Theismann's throws, or 6 of the Redskins' throws, and beat them 44-14. Here's one right here. Ron Fellows, pass intended for Monk.
Ron Fellows gets the interception, but let's watch what helped cause that. Here we see Michael Downs. He's going to come on a blitz. Now, Theismann is coming out here on a sprint out. Just as he throws, Downs gets up in his face, and it looks like Theismann had to take a little off it. Watch Downs coming here in the blitz. Theismann is going out. Now Downs starts up the field again. Now watch him here. It looks like he flinches right there and he couldn't follow through with his arm. Then at the other end, good coverage by Fellows, and he comes up with the interception.
And the Cowboys give the ball to Dorsett, and Dorsett does well to get back to the line of scrimmage. That was a good judgment by Michael Downs. When he went after Theismann, he didn't really go after his body, he went after his arm.
Well, the thing is, and he cut him off because it's a new thing that the Redskins are doing. They used to have a dash, but now they call that a speed, and it's a form of a sprint out. Downs read it well. As you said, he went and cut off Theismann's position and didn't let that right arm follow through.
Tony Hill is split wide to the left in the slot as Hill. Wide left to him is Renfro. Danny White is back to try to throw and going deep, and he has Tony Hill. Tony Hill moves into Washington territory at the 40, inside the 40, about the 38. A pickup of 42 yards. I don't know how he got so open, but he's getting up slowly.
Not only got open, but it looked like what he did is he just split a double coverage. We see here there's Darrell Green on his outside. He let him go and came off with the short guy by the linebacker, and now the safety, Curtis Jordan, finally gets over to make the tackle. That looked like, you know, one thing you never want a defensive guy to do is take a bite on a short guy when you have a guy going deep, and I think that's what Darrell Green did.
The book on Tony Hill of 53 receptions. He leads the NFL both in receptions and in yards gained. And as Tom Landry was saying last night, he has a way of getting that body into a position where the defender can't get to it. He's just a good target. Gonzalez now has replaced Tony Hill. That's Dorsett. Hit by Butts with one arm and then taken down by Charles Mann. Interesting, I said a minute ago what a tough ticket this is, the 146th sellout. They took a poll here in Washington about which ticket you'd like to have.
That was the thing, and it was a television station did it. Who do you think won? The Redskin ticket, 4-1. Would rather go to that than the Royal Party.
The Royal Party, as far as the Redskin fans are concerned, is here today. That's Cosby in motion and Danny White back to throw. Didn't have much time. Flag is down for Timmy Newsom. And it is going to be holding against Dallas.
It's in the area where they call the left tackle. It's that official on the sideline. He only keys left tackle. That'd be Phil Pozderic, probably holding Dexter Manley. I remember in the Giant game last week, that was a big one against Tampa Bay.
Holding, number 75, offense, still second down.
It was Phil Pozderic against Dexter Manley, that official looking right down the line from the left here. See, and he sees that hand right there. You see that left hand? He started in there, and then as Dexter started the outside, Pozderic just kept that left hand in the middle of his jersey.
Not much doubt about that one.
I remember when Phil Pozderic just started, Tom Landry said, "You'd love this guy. He knows how to hold the way those Raiders do."
He did say that, didn't he?
Oh.
There's Dorsett, who shakes the tackle, and Dorsett's on the move and out of bounds. First down, Dallas. Curtis Jordan finally got him out of bounds, but nobody, I think, in football makes that adjustment as well as Tony Dorsett.
Well, let's watch it here. It's a delayed trap. You see the left guard tightens her, pulls to the right, gets a trap in there. Dorsett gets through the hole, down the line. Look at that little move there. That is an amazing thing. He took two guys out of that, picked up a block, and then got out to the sideline. You know, if you fake one guy with the move, that's good. Well, you can use one move and fake two guys. That's a double dipper. That's real good.
And Dorsett got the first down. Cowboys at the Redskin 27. 3:11 left first quarter. They'll run him again. He had to make an adjustment. Dave Butts and Rich Malott stopped him. Buffalo shut out Houston 20-0. Shocks a lot of folks. Pittsburgh beat Kansas City 36-28. All those are finals. 2nd and 7. It's 0-0 here at RFK. Tom Landry and Joe Gibbs, two of pro football's most successful. Landry looking for his 250th win, coaching his 400th game as a head coach. 2nd down and 7. White for Renfro. Incomplete. Covered by Darrell Green, and covered well.
That was an interesting pattern by Renfro. In fact, he really had to run a long way. Let's see if we can see it. He starts out here in motion, Comes all the way in here, stops, comes up, and then back out here. Darrell Green has him all the way in good coverage, and Danny White had to throw it over his head. Watch him out there. See him start in. Now he starts up the field, comes back in, now back to the outside, and Green has him covered like a blanket. Looked like he did have a hand right there. Looks like he had a couple hands.
And an elbow.
Well, whatever it takes. You know, you got to get that guy covered. That's hard. It's naked out there.
3rd and 7. And White scramble to the 10. Inside the 10 to about the 8. A Dallas first down. It'll be 1st and goal. As Danny White gets down inside the 10. Mel Kopman finally tripped him up. A run of 16, 17 yards.
Now, that was a defensive tackle's fault, because the defensive tackles are supposed to get in the face of the quarterback. They both looked like they got out of their lanes, and Danny White really had a big open middle on that last play.
And took advantage of it. 1st and goal, Dallas from the Redskin 8. Number 11, Danny White. 2 tight ends set up. Dorsett slips back deep in the I formation. They give it to Newsom. Newsom to about the 6, maybe a couple. Dave Butts, who is like another stadium, hard to move out of there.
You know, that's the thing. You never get any movement on Dave Butts. As Tom Landry says last night, you don't block Dave Butts. You hope to influence him the way he wants to go. He said, but you sure don't move him in some direction he doesn't want to go. I told him yesterday at practice, I said, geez, you look good. You look like you lost weight. He said, yeah, 303. How would you lose weight and be down to 303? He's all guy, though.
You have to be dedicated. White backtracks on 2nd down. Gets away from one man. Gets away now from Manley. Now he's got some blockers. Now he slips another, and now he loses the football. And the Cowboys are lucky to get it back. Manley had 2 shots at it. Kurt Peterson made the recovery. And Danny White again is slow getting up.
Hey, the thing that caused that was excellent coverage by the Redskin defense. Danny White had a couple chances to throw, but there's no one open. See, he's trying to throw quick here. Right now, there's no one open. Manley gets in there. Now he comes out. He's looking again. He's looking. Can't find anyone open. And then here comes Neil Okowitz. He comes up and hits him. Then he gets hit again. Manley looks like he could get the fumble recovery, but Kurt Peterson's there and comes up with it.
Well, it's been a very interesting but scoreless first quarter. At the end of 1 at RFK, it's Dallas 0, Washington 0.
Here's the coverage we were talking about. This is what Danny White was looking at. We see Mike Renfro there in the end zone. We see Timmy Newsom. Can't get open. Now, once your quarterback starts to scramble, you have to keep working, keep moving, and work back. Now, watch Renfro. He's in the end zone, comes out of the end zone, sees that he's in trouble, keeps working back all the way. Danny White couldn't find anything. That was good coverage. Darrell Green, 28, stayed with him all the way.
And so that sets up a 3rd and goal situation back at the 22-yard line now. Tony Hill, no. The pass was there. It would have been a good catch. The pass was there.
The pass was there, and the defense was there, too. He really threw it into a lot of coverage. Tony Hill just seems to get into the middle of all the coverage. Hey, that ball went right in, out, through his hand. I don't think, when he saw that coverage, I don't think Tony Hill expected to get the ball. And then Danny White saw something that Tony Hill didn't see.
And he had it there. That was a good throw. Gary Hogaboom will hold. Raphael Septien from 40 yards away. Redskin fans coming to life. And believe me, they have a lot of life. Septien is down the pipe. It's 3-0 Dallas. With 14:50 left in the first half. At RFK, the Cowboys move ahead 3-0. Dallas 3-0 over Washington. And that picture That view of RFK comes to us from the McBlimp, the McDonald's blimp, the airship, being piloted by Mike Fitzpatrick. Septien kicks off high, handled by Jenkins at about the 7. And he hammers outside the 25 to about the 28. 27, Bill Bates down on the coverage. A return of 21 yards by Jenkins. That's the story of the Cowboys' scoring drive. 11 plays, 58 yards they went. And Raphael Septien finished off and put the points on the board from 40 yards out.
You know, it's interesting. We're into the second quarter, and there's only been 2 drives. The Redskins got the ball, drove it all the way down the field, threw an interception, and the Cowboys got it, drove it all the way down the other end, kicked a field goal.
Redskins go on a quick count, and Riggins pounds up the middle, but there's a penalty marker down. Randy White finally made the stop, but there's a flag on the play against Washington.
You know, those turnovers really do come back to haunt you. You know, you get it. That thing could have been a 10-point play because the Redskins were in position to score. They didn't get it, and the Cowboys had the ball all that time, and they come out with 3.
Holding. Offense, number 78. Still first down.
Well, you know, as many games as we've done and as much of professional football or any football as we've watched, it seems to be when you get down to the bottom line of every story and the result of every game is turnovers.
I would think if there's any statistic that it really is important, it tells the story of the game, it's turnovers or lack thereof.
Riggins comes out, and Keith Griffin has replaced him as the lone setback for the Redskins. He had a big day last week. Cowboys on a blitz. They give to Griffin. Randy White stopped him. Raiders and Chargers in a game that started the same time as this one, tied at 7 in the first quarter.
You know, an interesting thing, look at this. The Cowboys have a nose tackle there. Guess who it is? Not Randy White. It's not Dutton. It's Bill Bates, number 40. He lines up over Donnelly as a nose tackle. And I think maybe the Redskins thought that if they want to put him at nose tackle, let's run at him.
His career will be shorter if he stays most of the time there. Theismann out to Calvin Muhammad. Nothing between the Jets and Miami in the first quarter. Another late starting game. It's 3-0 here at RFK. The Cowboys over the Redskins. Giants have already won. If the Cowboys plan to stay tied for first in the NFC East, they need a win here. And the Redskins also need a win to stay in the hunt. Monk and Muhammad and Clark are the wide receivers. Clark and Monk to the left. Theismann looking that way. Now trying to get away. And he does dance away. And here he comes. He got a block. Jeffcoat finally hammers him out of bounds. Will not be a first down.
Yeah, we were talking about the coverage and the different defenses. You see, Dallas is in there 4-0 now. They have 4 defensive linemen rushing the passer there, 7 defensive backs, all in coverage. As Theismann comes out here, he looks there, he fakes a punt, see if he can get someone open. Now he decides I better run it and hope I can get to the sideline.
Steve Cox on the punt now. He replaced the injured Jeff Hayes. Bill Bates now returning punts for the Cowboys. Stands back at his own 30. Fine kick. Bates retreats to his 22. Bates has hit it about the 30. Stuart Anderson was the first man down. A kick of 48 yards by Cox. And a return of 9 by Bates. Good kick. Dallas leads it 3-0.
Smooth Michelob. Where you're going, it's Michelob. The new Chrysler Corporation.
A beautiful, beautiful fall afternoon in the nation's capital as you look at our nation's capital. Cowboys leading 3-0. For this city, that score could be better. Here's Danny White, chased by Dexter Manley. Trying to throw a screen pass to Timmy Newsom. And all he had to do was just get it airborne and get away from Manley.
You know, the Cowboys do some interesting things here. One is they change their offensive line. You know, they started out with Kurt Peterson and Glenn Titans at guards. Now they come here in the second quarter, and they have Broderick Thompson, number 67 at left guard, and Howard Richards, who just got back off the IR list as a right guard, number 70.
And Tom Landry's reasoning was pretty valid, I thought, and pretty authentic, didn't you?
Well, he says you have to have experience in that offensive line, and if they don't play, they never get experience. And then if someone gets hurt, you have an inexperienced guy going in.
Here's White. Outside Newsom. Newsom faced quickly by Mel Kaufman, and not much develops out of that one. Tom was saying that last year we got into a situation where we wound up with 5 guards in the offensive line, and you can't make a living like that.
And he was thinking that was one of the problems, you know, one of their biggest problems last year. So they started playing a lot of offensive linemen all year, and there doesn't have to be an injury. There's nothing wrong with anyone. They just take them out and put the other guys in.
James Jones in the backfield. White now out of the spread formation. Well, you look at left tackle, too. They've made a change there. That's Chris Schultz. Here's White to Cosby. And Cosby is nailed out of bounds by Monty Coleman. That'll stop the clock. That'll be a gain of 15, and that'll move the sticks.
You know, it's an interesting thing. The reason Cosby is here, here's Cosby. Now, that is usually Carl Poe, a rookie who's been the third wide receiver. He's injured, so Cosby plays, just comes right across here, and White hits him right here. He is usually out in this situation. But Cosby on passing down, see him coming across the field right here, gets behind his guy, behind another one, catches the ball right there for a first down. He usually wouldn't be in that situation.
As you said before, he's a big target. Here's Dorsett. And he's a small target, but he gets big results. Curtis Jordan on the tackle. Here's the way Danny White and the Cowboys distribute the passes through 9 games. Not this game. Tony Hill, the NFL leader, with 53. Cosby with 41. Renfro with 32. That's pretty impressive.
Well, you know, to show how impressive is, those 3 guys, the 2 starting wide receivers and starting tight end, the top 3, that's the leader in the NFL. Those 3 guys have more yardage than any other 3 in the league.
2nd and 5. Cowboys in Redskin territory. White back to throw. That's Cosby again. Wide open is Cosby. He's taken down by Curtis Jordan, but he's all the way down to the Redskin 26, a pickup of 20.
I'll tell you, that time Cosby was really easy to find in there because there was no defense around him.
Tony Peters blitz.
That had to be some kind of missed coverage, and we'll see what happens where Cosby comes from. He's the tight end right here. Here's Peters, who would normally cover him. He comes on a blitz. Cosby just catches right in the middle, and there's no one there. Just watch him from right here. When you stop it, he's wide open. No one picked up the tight end when the strong safety blitz.
First down, Cowboys. They're down at the Redskin 26. Dallas leads 3-0. Draw play Dorsett. Looking for room and not going to find much on this one. Vernon Dean, who Joe Gibbs said to us about Vernon Dean yesterday, he thought that Neil Olkowitz and Vernon Dean were the 2 most underrated, unrecognized players in the Redskin team.
Yeah, he said yesterday Neil Olkowitz, the starting middle linebacker, he said pound for pound was the best player in the Redskin team last year. And he said Vernon Dean, for some reason, he said he just doesn't get the credit, but he's a real solid player. Never gets burnt, never gets hurt. Is always in it, the run and the pass.
Dorsett lost 2, so it's 2nd and 12. White back to throw. There goes that penalty flag down. Cosby has it for a touchdown, then has it batted away at the last minute. He had it, lost it. But there's a flag down, and it's going to be holding again, I'm sure.
And it's going to be against Jim Cooper blocking Charles Mann. I don't know about that one. I saw that one. It looked like to me that Mann threw his arm in there on Cooper. You know, sometimes that happens. The guy is blocking you. If you throw your arm underneath, you throw your arm in a held position. It doesn't look like that was Cooper's fault.
Holding, number 61, offense. 2nd down.
Here it is, John. Let's have a look.
Well,
at
let's
what
see
you're
if we
talking
can
about.
watch it. Cooper is number 61, the right tackle. Mann is 71. Now watch Mann's right arm. He throws it in there. See, he throws it in. Now he threw the arm up in there, and I don't know that when the official called that it wasn't because he put it in there.
That's the third holding penalty against Dallas. You talk about players who play well and are unrecognized. Jim Cooper, number 61, in spite of the holding penalty, is one of those. Here goes Newsom in motion. 2nd and 22. White back to throw. Here comes Manley. There's Cosby. And he gets down to about the 25. There's a pass that was thrown and on the way before Cosby ever looked back.
Well, you know, one thing that the Cowboys did this year, Danny White used to take a 7-yard drop, a 7-step drop. Now he takes a 5-step drop, and they're throwing more on timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Of course, they don't account, they don't count on penalties when they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom.
Here's another penalty.
Illegal motion, number 82, offense, still 2nd down.
2nd down and going backwards.
Well, of course, what happens is Mike Renfro, that should never happen. That is the dumbest penalty in the world. The guy out there jumping off sides when you're wide receiver. You know, you're looking in, you can look in at the ball. No one's going to hit you. You don't have to do that. Anything that drove me crazy and caused ulcers, it was a wide receiver jumping off sides.
After all that, it's 2nd down and 27 for a first. Here comes the Redskins. Dave Butts chasing Danny White. Batted away. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Manley was the man who made him move out of the pocket. Then he slipped down, and then he was chased by Butts.
Tell you, good defense here. Let's see if we can just see Dave Butts here. He's going to come in and get pressure on Danny White as he starts out to this side. You see, Butts just takes his guy. Now, that's kind of a stunt. And he just started to the outside. He runs right down the line. He doesn't go towards Danny White. Butts takes a cutoff angle to go where he was going.
3rd down and 27. Here comes the Redskin blitz, and there's the Cowboys nothing. That's an air ball, and there's another penalty flag down.
And that one looks like that's going to be, that's way back there. That's going to be roughing the pass. No, it's going against the Redskins for roughing the passer,
Right.
I think, Pat.
Yes, it is. Called against Monty Coleman, who was just activated.
That was Monty Coleman, and he really got him back there and got the late
Roughing the
hit.
passer, number 51, ineligible man downfield, number 67, decline, replay.
Here he is right here. We can watch him all the way coming on Danny White. Danny White has taken a deeper drop now because he's in the shotgun. No one blocks Coleman. Danny White's just trying to throw it away, and Coleman makes the hit. I don't know. That didn't look like a real roughing. I mean, he didn't mean to do anything.
Well, there's so much going on in this last drive, so many penalties, it's hard to keep track of. It's 3rd and 27 for the Cowboys. They're at the Redskin 43. Right now, they're out of field goal range for Raphael Septien. Redskins go with their nickel package, their 6 defensive backs. White goes back to throw, has Tony Hill, who steps away from a couple. Still on his feet is Tony Hill. Now he got him back in field goal range. Barry Wilburn finally made the stop, a gain of 16, and Septien can reach it from here.
Hey, if Septien does reach it from here just barely, it was a move that Tony Hill put on Barry Wilburn because he was able to get 3 or 4 more yards right at the end of that play.
Got him back to about the 27, so it'll be a 45-yard effort.
Danny White has that look. Geez, on that drive, we were doing everything but going nowhere fast.
Look, you're running in mud.
Uphill.
2 up and 1 back, or 1 up and 2 back. Penalty flag is down. The field goal is good by Septien, but a marker is down. Let's see if it's again. If you keep the points, I think, don't you, John? Well, you don't have the points. You don't have the option.
Now the interesting thing is whether they kick it again. I'm sure they will. It'll be around 52 yards. If
About
it's at
50.
Right, well, if it's at the 35, it's 52 yards. You're right, it's going to be about 50
Illegal
yards.
formation, number 75, offense in the backfield.
Phil Posderick, they say, was in the backfield. That ought to be an easy call.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, a guy like Phil Posderick, who's 6'8" and 290 pounds, he could be both places. I mean, he was probably
pretty good.
He probably had a little of him hanging out around the line and probably a little of him hanging in the backfield. He's the end, and he got back too far. But heck, you got to tell the guy, I'm 6'9". I got a lot of me to spread out here.
From 50 yards away, Raphael Septien with Gary Hogaboom holding. Up goes the net. Maybe, maybe not. Nope. Score remains 3-0 at RFK with 7:15 left to play in the first half. Dallas 3, Washington nothing. 7:15 left in the first half. Redskins have the ball at their own 32. What a sight. That's the Mick Blimp. That's John Riggin.
Yeah, we got the old blimp up there. We got a lot of stuff going now. We got refrigerators in Chicago, blimps at the games. We got hogs here, hogettes, the whole thing. This guy here, he's just bringing lunch. Just bring it in, just dump it right here.
Don't forget we have Riggins, too.
Yeah, Riggin. We got everything.
And
we got that guy right there. Yeah, you know, Big is getting good now.
Oh,
You know, it
yeah.
used to be Skinny was good.
That guy missed 2 practices last week and still made the game. Here's Riggins again over the right side and hammers ahead. And there comes that yellow flag again. Eugene, the hit machine, Lockhart.
Boy, that umpire, he's the official behind the defensive line. He threw that one with vengeance.
Didn't he?
He said, I got something here. That's going to be holding against those Redskins. I saw it all the way.
He may come back as a free agent.
Well, you know, he was carried off the field last week.
Right.
Hendy Ansich is his name. That's not him there. That's the referee,
That's
Pat
Haggerty. Right.
But the umpire on the other side, he got a concussion. He got knocked out in the play.
Number 61, offense, still first down.
I'll tell you, but he's back. He's good today. He threw that thing. He stands right up there over the ball.
He didn't get hit in the arm, did he?
No.
Arm is good. Five holding penalties already in this game. 2nd and 16. Bates in the middle of the Dallas defense. They figure throw. They figure right. Pass deflected by Eugene Lockhart. Intended for Art Monk from Theismann.
This is an interesting thing here. We see Steve Cox, the punter. That's not Steve
That's
Cox
Mosley.
there. That's Mark Mosley. But Steve Cox has punts and kicks off, and he has to change the shoes all the time. Mosley, I don't know what he's doing there. Maybe he just keeps that foot warmed up. I'll tell you, that guy wears more socks on that kicking foot than anyone in the league does.
But he's working on his left foot.
Yeah, but he's still, look at that right foot. That thing is what you call socked up. You got it socked up, taped up, everything. That thing's a club.
Looks like it's been underground in Egypt for a long time. Theismann stumbles as he comes away from the center, goes deep to Monk. Flag is down. Everson Walls fell down. He was covering Monk, but another penalty marker goes down.
That's going to be interesting whether that was against Walls or whether Monk knocked him down, or whether Walls fell down trying to knock Monk down. I think it's against Walls. Usually is against the defensive
Against
guy.
Walls.
But I tell you, sometimes you have to do that. You know, if you're beaten, you see what happens. He gets there and he sees that he's getting by. I don't know that that is against Walls. I mean, they called it against Walls. I think that's wrong. I mean, Monk just put his shoulder into him and knocked him down.
Monk ran right into him.
Illegal contact, number 24, defense, first down.
If that's illegal, I'd like to see legal. What's the guy have to do? I think that's one that probably shouldn't have been called against anyone. See what happens here? He's going to go there. He has the bump there, and Monk just pushes him out. I don't know that that's anyone's fault. and it just runs in. It's a contact sport. Oh, that would have been 6, though.
If Theismann could have gotten the ball there, Walls was down here. His speed, that's that sprint out that they talk about. Gary Clark is the receiver. Everson Walls again on the coverage, a gain of 11. That's a first down.
Well, they used to do a dash right where Theismann would start back and then sprint. Now they do speed right and left. They get an extra blocker over on that side. They just sprint right up, boom, right down the line, and then he hit Gary Clark on the out.
When they do that, of course, they also make the field a little bit smaller.
That's why I never really liked it, because you shrink the field down to about a quarter of its normal size.
Dallas showing blitz on first down, and Theismann comes out again to the other side with that speed, and he goes deep for Clark. Just batted away at the last second. What a good play by Ron Fellows. He already has one interception, and he batted that one away after it looked like 6 again.
See, here's the thing. It used to be where he would come straight back. Now you see how he takes the ball, just sprints out right here, gets out here quickly to the outside. There, again, he has Clark wide open down the field. A heck of a play by Fellows. He had Monk on the right side with no play by Walls. Then he had Clark on the left side deep, and Ron Fellows really caught up with it. But that was that speed. They ran a speed right, and that one was speed left.
Fellows, of course, had lost his job when he had a knee injury and just was suffering on the field, and now he's gotten it back. That's Clark in motion, and Theismann back to throw in a hurry, batted away by Ed Jones. And John Dutton got his big hands up there, too. It's one thing about the Cowboys. They're all, particularly on the left side. Dutton and Jones are both about 6'8" or 9", and in that direction, it's tough to see.
I'll bet you over the years that Ed Too Tall Jones has knocked down more passes than anyone that's ever played the game. And I think that's why it's always so tough to throw to the right side. You see Theismann back here, 1, 2, 3. He's going to throw the quick. Now watch Ed Jones. Just get his left hand up and whack, just knocked it right down. You have to have a feel for that. You know, a lot of guys jump up and they never hit the ball. But the good ones can jump up and hit it.
He had 16 of those last year. Theismann straight back, trying to find some place to go, and there he goes. Theismann is going to scramble for the first down. He's taken out of bounds by Dexter Clinkscale, but gets enough on the scramble for the first down. 5:50 left to play in the first half.
Now watch what happens when an end goes outside too much on a pass rush. Watch Too Tall working against Mark May. You see him take the outside. May just pushes him out, Now Theismann has that lane right in there. You see, Jones took himself out of the thing. May ran him out, and that gave Theismann the hole to get through and pick up a first down. Those ends have to kind of come up the field and keep containment on that quarterback, but not give him a big alley.
First down, Redskins at the Cowboy 45. 5:50 left to play first half, and Dallas leading 3-0. Theismann back to throw. Look out. Incomplete. Clint Didier was the intended receiver. Too Tall Jones got the Theismann just as he pulled the trigger.
See, Dexter Clinkscale, number 47, was the guy covering him. But the first guy that he thanks is Eugene Lockhart, because Lockhart really held him off. Here's Too Tall on the rush, coming from the outside, just getting there after Theismann threw the ball.
And kind to Joe, wasn't he?
He sure was.
2nd and 10. Mosley over loosening up on the sideline if the Redskins do get in range. Riggins is out of the game. No, he's in. Riggins. Again, it's batted away as Theismann tries to throw to right, and Too Tall Jones again.
I tell you, Theismann has to do something here, either not throw to the right, take a deeper drop, or go back to that speed right and left. But I don't think you can take that short drop against the Cowboys and throw to the right side.
That's going to happen all day if he keeps trying it like that.
Theismann's probably thinking that right now as he's looking to the sideline for his play. Don't give me any more of those passes that I have to take a short drop and throw to my right. I've got him batted back at me twice.
Keith Griffin now has replaced Riggins. It's 3rd and 10. Didier moving, and now he comes out of the pocket. Now he does go deep. Completes the pass to Monk, but it's not enough for a first down. Everson Wall was the defender. It'll be short.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting thing now whether the Redskins really have a decision here. The crowd's in. Do you go for it on 4th down, or do you go for a field goal? If you go for the field goal, you have Steve Cox kick it or Mark Mosley.
Well, if you go field goal, it has to be Cox, but they're going for the first down. Line of scrimmage is the Dallas 37. If they went field goal, it would be 55 yards. It will have to be Cox.
You know, the interesting thing, the Redskins were going for it on 4th down, and they didn't have a running back in there.
Now they have Keith Griffin. 4th and 2. 5.5 minutes left to play first half. Theismann goes quickly, and again the ball is batted away. This time by Jeffcoat. But you're right, John. You've got to take a deeper drop than that against this Dallas front.
I think especially Theismann. I mean, he's been playing a long time. We all know that. But Theismann is not the tall quarterback, and a 1, 2, 3-step drop really doesn't do it. And what they're doing, I think that was both Randy White and Jim Jeffcoat on that one.
3-0 Dallas. Looking down at Robert F. Kennedy Stadium in Washington, sold out for the 146th consecutive time. You would expect it when the Cowboys are here. It's 3-0 Dallas with 5.5 minutes left to play first half. Here's Danny White. Gets it away, deflected again. Bounced off Dorsett. Mike Renfro also was in the area. San Diego Chargers playing surprisingly good. Surprisingly well, I should say, on defense. Leading the Raiders 10-7. The Jets over Miami 3-0. They too play well on defense. Understand that in the Jet game, I guess taking a page out of William Perry's book, The Refrigerator, Mark Gastineau is in the backfield for the Jets today.
Sure, he volunteered for it.
I know he did. That's Newsom in motion, and that's White back to throw. Dorsett out of the backfield, being chased. And hit by Rich Malott. Dorsett gets to about the 40, knocked out of bounds by Malott.
That's a pretty good play by Rich Malott. Dorsett was the second back. When Newsom goes in motion to the right, then Dorsett flares out to the right. He becomes the second back. Now, Malott was a linebacker on the opposite side. He had to run all the way across the field to get to Dorsett.
Now the Redskins put in 5 defensive backs as it's a 3rd and 7 situation. Cowboys just inside their own 40.
Wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys would go to work out here on Tony Hill and Barry Wilburn.
Looks like there's some room. They go the other direction, and the Redskins almost come up with an interception. Darrell Green was in front of Renfro and Danny White, and the Cowboys were lucky that one didn't turn it around.
There's Darrell Green. He finally, see that left hand? Up until yesterday, he had a cast on that left hand. And he got it off yesterday, and he was as happy when that cast came off as he was right now, knocking a ball down. Although he wanted an interception on that play. But there's a guy with a lot of light and spirit to the game.
Saxon to punt for Dallas, and Ken Jenkins back deep for Washington. That one. 21 for Jenkins. Straight ahead, and here comes the yellow flag flying again. Bill Bates down to make the hit.
I'll tell you, this game could lead the league in penalties in this first half, but you know, it's a rivalry game, it's a grudge game, but the penalties really haven't been those type that you would associate. You know, I'm sure they're going to say that because of this game, but it's been like that: illegal block from behind, someone jumping off sides, those types of things. There sure have been a lot of them.
There hasn't been a personal foul, has there?
Illegal use of the hands on the return.
There have been 6 holding penalties,
Number
but
30.
nobody would
just that one on Monty Coleman
Right.
that was roughing the passer, but when you looked at that, that wasn't an unnecessary roughness. No, you're right.
There are the penalties. Dallas 6 times for 45 yards. Washington 4 for 35. So indeed, you're right. 5:05 left to play first half. Dallas 3, Washington nothing.
Dallas Stadium and Tom Landry coaching against Mike Ditka. See what the refrigerator can do against a Randy White or someone. That could be a deal that would shock your Richter scale.
Certainly could. That was Riggins over the left side.
You look at Randy White there. He looks a lot better in a football jersey with some sweat and stuff hanging on him than he does a suit and sport coat. We caught him last time in a sport coat and tie. We caught him last night in a sport coat. And those arms just kind of fill up that coat. The thing bulges and tight. Doesn't look like it belongs on that body.
The tie doesn't go all the way to the top button either. This is Riggins. Randy White tripped him up.
There's a guy who doesn't like to wear a suit either. He just likes to play football. You know, he's an amazing guy that's been doing it as long as this guy has, because he doesn't get around to the outside. I mean, he has to pound it in there. He was telling, we were in a locker room yesterday at Redskin Park, and he was telling the lineman, he said, look, I'm too old. Don't give me gaping holes.
Offense.
I only make local calls, he said. Nothing long distance.
No gaping holes, yeah.
Just give me something I can lean on.
Now, there's another penalty. That one was against the Redskins for holding. I'll tell you, it's tough for these teams to get anything going. Every time they get something going, there seems to be a penalty. That was an offensive face mask, excuse me.
Face mask, offense.
Well, he gave you the indication of holding.
Yeah, the indication for face mask is you grab like an imaginary face mask in front of your face. Holding is you grab your wrist. Gave one and said the other.
Well, he's been busy. 4:24 left to play in the first half, with Dallas leading 3-0. A 40-yard field goal by Rafael Septien, and that's been it. 2nd and 11 for the Redskins at their own 19. Theismann has Riggins behind him. Out to the right he goes, looking for a place to go. Now to the left he goes. Hammered by Ed Jones. Theismann heard him coming. Went to the natural turf. A gain of 13, however.
You know, who's going to be the most embarrassed guy when they watch the film is number 27, Ron Fellows. You see what happens here? When they come on this speed right, that brings all the defense over here. Now when he goes back, there's no defense left except 27, Ron Fellows. Now he has a shot at the quarterback. You don't get many of those when you're a defensive back. And when you do get one, you want to put a finisher on him. Fellows missed it, or Theismann made Fellows miss it.
An indication of what a good athlete Theismann is. On first down, he's back straight. And he's chased by Jeffcoat. And down he goes and hit by Randy White after Jeffcoat tripped him up. That's the first sack of the day by Dallas.
You know what caused that? Ron Fellows was off on this side on Gary Clark, and they were trying to hit him on a stop and go. And Fellows was so deep that he didn't go for the pump shot. Watch, here's Jim Jeffcoat. He's working on Dan McQuaid, excuse me. He starts outside. Now he's going to get a late pressure on Theismann. But Theismann didn't have anyone open over there on that left side, and that's why Jeffcoat got the sack.
Randy White was the man who made sure that Theismann stayed down. 2:49 left to play first half. 2nd down, Redskins. Theismann back to throw again. Gets it outside, and Kenneth Monk bounced off his hands. Everson Walls was with him.
Hey, this Dallas Cowboy defense has done a good job on Art Monk. I think that the Redskins feel that if they're going to get a big play, they only have one guy who really gives them a big play, and that's Art Monk. And the Cowboys feel the same way, that we have to stop Art Monk from getting a big play against us. Of course, he almost had that one against Everson Walls.
Too Tall Jones had been out on the last couple of downs, relieved by Kevin Brooks. But Brooks just limped off the field and hit Jones's back. There's Brooks. Down the middle this time. Keith Griffin, and Griffin stays on his feet, and the Redskins will have a first down at midfield. A gain of 28 yards. Griffin out of the backfield, stopped by Dennis Thurman. Finally, but the Redskins move it. Clock is running as they move the sticks with 2:19 left.
Keith Griffin is the back on the left side. He's going to come out and just circle straight up the middle. Theismann sees him now, hits him right there. He was man-on-man against Bill Bates. He beat Bates and got a big first down for the Redskins. You know, last year, Joe Gibbs said he wanted to play Keith Griffin, except he couldn't do it because he fumbled too much. Said this year he hasn't fumbled once.
3-0. Dallas still leads. The home of the Redskins. And they're always sold out. Pat Summerall here with John Madden. A matchup between the Cowboys and the Redskins, who dislike each other intensely. Dallas leads 3-0. That's the timeout situation. First down. Handoff is to Griffin. And he hammers to about the 41 before Dexter Clinkscale. And Dennis Thurman converges to knock him down.
Well, that was the 4-0 defense of the Cowboys, where they have their 4 defensive linemen, 7 defensive backs in the game. Bill Bates, again, is playing the middle linebacker, and they ran right at him. I think that's their thing. When they take Lockhart out, they want to run at Bates.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. Score is Dallas 3, Washington 0.
Okay, here's the 4-0. Here's 3 defensive backs here, 3 here, and the 7th is right there, Bill Bates. And that's how they play the 4-0.
This is Keith Griffin over the left side to pick up the first down, stopped by Randy White. The Cowboys waited as long as they could to make a last-minute substitution to get Bates out and Lockhart back in. Now here comes Bates again.
I think that's the big thing, is they want to run against Bates and not against Lockhart. The Cowboys want to keep Lockhart in as much as they can if the Redskins are going to run. Now Bates is there, and I would bet if they run, it's something up the middle. Bates is a nose tackle.
Now he backs out. Now he's back down again. They get it outside of Griffin. Chased by Jeffcoat and taken down by Jeffcoat. Good play by defensive end. Ron Fellows was there with the assist. Strain thigh for Kevin Brooks. He may or may not be back.
You know, the interesting thing about that last coverage, Pat, when Bates plays in the middle and blitzes up the middle as he did, then the first back to that side, Jeffcoat has to take him. Watch him. You see Bates is in the middle. He's going to come. You see he comes on a blitz up the middle. Now we also see Michael Downs was in there. Now the guy that covers the back out there in that outside has to be the defensive end.
And that was Jeffcoat.
And he did a good job.
Got out there in a hurry. Second down and 5. Washington timeout. They're at the Dallas 32 with a minute left to play in the first half. The Redskins have 1 remaining, 1 timeout.
I know what they're talking about here. One thing is they would like to obviously score. They do not want the Cowboys to get the ball back again this half. They probably have a field goal. They probably like about 5 or 10 more yards for the field goal. They don't want any turnover.
Mark Mosley, the Redskins' very effective field goal kicker. Don't forget, coming up at the half, Brent Erb and George Allen, who had so many great years here as the coach of the Redskins, is in the studio in New York. They'll be along with scores and highlights.
You know, George Allen will probably love this first half. It's defense. You know, that's the thing. You never know in these games anymore in the NFL. You never know whether you're watching a boring first half or a great defensive struggle. I'm sure George say great defensive struggle that first half.
Well, I agree with George. This is 3-0, but it's still a good first half. Dallas leads. Theismann looks like he's calling an audible. Has a man in his face and throws behind his intended receiver, Art Monk. Dexter Clinkscale right in his face.
Well, they had Bates up there again in the middle so that they couldn't double on White. Then they brought Clinkscale from the outside. You see, they packed everything in the middle. Here, you see, they got everything in here. That packs out. Now Clinkscale comes off this corner, and there's no one left to block him. You see, they have that solid middle there. But see, right there, the outside guy, they don't have anyone to pick up except the quarterback. Theismann has to pick him up.
It'll be 3rd and 5. Theismann quickly. This time he's going to have time. And the ball is batted away right at the last second by Ron Fellows. Fellows has had a good, strong first half. Intended for Art Monk. Get some congratulations from Everson Walls. The Raiders have gone ahead of San Diego 13-10. That's still in the second quarter. Mark Mosley has come on the field here with Theismann to hold. Miami 7-3 over the Jets now as Dan Marino just hit Mark Duper with a touchdown pass. Mosley now from, 49 yards?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark it right on the 40, which would be 50 yards.
Right, 49 3/4. Not going to get there. Dallas hangs to their lead, 3-0, as Joe Gibbs a little discouraged. I was a little bit surprised he didn't use Steve Cox.
Well, you know, he was talking about that. He said if he ever gets a long one, he's going to use Steve Cox. Steve Cox last week kicked in practice a 68-yard field goal. I think he probably figures that 50-yarder was probably the perimeter of Mark Mosley's range. You know, anything outside he'd have Cox do, anything inside Mosley would do. But I'm surprised they didn't run, you know, and try and pick up 5 more yards to make a sure field goal for Mosley.
1st and 10 from the 33 for the Cowboys, who lead. They give on a draw play to Dorsett, who can't find any room. Finally does do a little dance and gets out to about the 37. Next Saturday, CBS Sports College Football will present 2 key conference matchups. The Cowboys are going in a hurry. White incomplete. Dorsett appeared to be the target in that direction, at least. Now things quiet down just a little bit. 25 seconds left to play in the first half. Cowboys leading on a 40-yard field goal by Raphael Septien, and the score is 3-0 with 25 seconds left to play in the first half.
It'll be interesting to see what Tom Landry's decided to do. If he passes the ball and it's incomplete, he's going to have to punt, and the Redskins will get a couple more shots. If he runs the ball, then the Redskins are going to have less time.
Out of the spread formation, so it appears he'll throw it. They give instead to Dorsett. He gets away from one tackler. Gets away finally from another one. Gets back to about the 35. Tony Peters takes him down. Clock stopped now with 16 seconds left to play.
Of course, what's going to happen, the Redskins take the timeout, because if they don't, then the Cowboys would just let the clock run out. Now they're going to punt, but the Redskins aren't going to have good field position. You always wonder about this, because unless they get a real good punt return here, how are they going to do something in 10 seconds that they haven't been able to do in 2 quarters?
Or unless they put a lot of heat, or try to put a lot of heat on the Dallas punter, Saxon, and try to block it.
That would be the thing to do, because, you know, with 16 seconds, you might as well go for it. The punt block, even if you did get a roughing the punter, Dallas wouldn't have that much time to do anything about it. This is an ideal time to go for a punt block.
16 seconds remain on the clock in the first half, and you look at the total offense. The score is 3-0, and the total offensive efforts by both teams just come very close to being exactly even, 157 to 155 Washington.
You know, as I look at this first half, Pat, it seems like to me they just sparred out here in the first half, and they're going to regroup in the locker room at halftime, and then the one that can come out and get the upper hand right off the bat will probably win this game.
Ken Jenkins back deep. That's Mike Saxon, number 4. And it doesn't look like they're trying to block this punt. Looks like they're trying to set up a return. This is a good kick. A tough one to return, and Jenkins lets it bounce. It goes out of bounds Hang time of 4.6 seconds. 8 seconds left on the first half game clock. 50-yard punt and a good one and out of bounds. Clock was going to stop anyway on the change of possession. So the Redskins have got a lot of work to do with 8 seconds remaining. Again, a reminder coming up at the half, George Allen, ex-Redskin coach, is in our studio in New York with Brent Musburger. And we will have an NFL Today and an update of all the scores around the league. Out goes Bates.
Better get out quickly.
Redskins decide, okay, let's run it out and go regroup. They head for the locker room. Rather surprising the score. It's Dallas 3-0 at the end of the first half at RFK Stadium in Washington.